D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So, this movie, The Wolf of Snow Hollow, dropped a little while ago. I believe it dropped on the 6th. Don't quote me on that date. And I watched it, and then I didn't have time to film a review because, you know, life. But I had written out notes, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this because I've already taken the time to write stuff out. So, yeah. So before I get started on this review, I just want to say that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is going to do their annual old bot cleanse and old account purge. And there usually is a little bit of collateral damage. I don't know why, but there is. And so I just ask that you please like, share, and subscribe, and I thank you in advance. So why don't we go ahead and get started on this review of The Wolf of Snow Hollow. Now, I just want to say that this was written by Jim Cummings, and we'll talk about that in just one moment, but I want to give you the synopsis of this movie, and it says, terror grips a small mountain town as bodies are discovered after each full moon. Losing sleep, raising a teenage daughter, and caring for his ailing father, Officer Marshall struggles to remind himself there's no such thing as werewolves. Whether there is such thing as werewolves or not plays secondary to this movie, which is a good thing. This movie is written and directed by Jim Cummings, who also stars. John Marshall is super funny, and I don't know why I hadn't heard of him until now, and he should be getting more work, in my opinion. So he plays a police officer for the snowy mountainside town of Snow Hollow, trying to keep a handle on his past alcohol addiction while dealing with separation from his wife and trying to relate to his 17-year-old daughter on her way to college through a gymnastics scholarship. Now, he is the textbook model for someone who is so entrenched into their job that there's practically no room to give his own family any attention. Now, this only becomes more problematic as other officers voice their opinions about wanting to give parking tickets rather than investigate a series of murders that could either be the work of a serial killer or a werewolf. So the movie does away with the fear of the unknown to show us that there is indeed a werewolf on the prowl murdering townies and vacationers in graphic fashion. However, there is still room for mystery and guesswork. I mean, who doesn't love a good mystery? And since these sequences are shrouded in darkness, that makes it really good and everything like that. This is an amusing contrast with John Marshall periodically going on the offensive anytime any other officer slightly entertains the idea that a werewolf could be wreaking havoc on the town. He's also joined by a more rational female counterpart in Riki Lindhome. I think that's how you say her name. She plays Officer Julia Robinson. And his ailing father, played by none other than Robert Forster in his final screen appearance. And I'll talk about it, his acting later on and everything, because it's further down my notes. But I just want to say, and I'll say, like I said, I'll say it again later, but I'll say it's unexpectedly touching watching Robert Forster play a sheriff, putting in the work and investigating the murders, knowing that death is around the corner for him in more ways than one. You get the sense that the performer behind the character did the same thing, acting while suffering from brain cancer, and that's just really remarkable. May he rest in peace. So moving on. With the hyperactive and loudness of Jim Cummings alongside with the more serious characters, there is a combination of dry and screwball comedy that routinely makes for big laughs. Now, I particularly loved all his witty lines when he's firing someone. I thought it was very funny, just the way he went about it. And it also helps that John Marshall is a little dummy in this movie when it comes to talking to women. On one scene, he's trying to give his daughter some pepper spray to defend herself against the killer, talking that he's talking to her, and that he talks to her in about the way she dresses and could cause her to become a target. And I was just like, who does that anymore? And then there's one other scene when he's talking to Officer Robinson. It's Robson, not Robinson. I wrote it right in my notes. But anyways, and He says it's really one of these guys that gets angry once in a while and takes it out on women because they hate them. And then he says, the victims are always women and the killers are always men. Why is it always women? And then he goes, do you think women have had to deal with this shit like this since the Middle Ages? And the look on her face is just priceless because it's like, yeah, dum-dum. So now, even though it's revealed that there's no supernatural aspect to this movie, it works as a genre feature. But the final reveal and cinematic moments are somehow surprising, but not exactly exciting. In fact, it's like you're going through the movie and then bam, you're at the end, which is a little off key but it's still violent and crowd pleasing. There are definitely more laughs than scares, but even with a 7-foot werewolf that may or may not be real, what is most importantly real is Jim Cummings' skill as a filmmaker, writer, and actor, and that deserves to be recognized. Like I said, I don't understand why he hasn't gotten more work and why I haven't heard of him, and I'm pretty sure you might not have heard of him. So let's talk about the acting real quick. I just want to say that Jim Cummings as Officer John Marshall, he does a fantastic job capturing the struggles of a man who is an alcoholic, father, police officer, and who struggles with the balance of personal life and work. Riki Lindhome, I hope I'm saying her name right, as Officer Julia Robson, is a competent, independent, strong female character who has to deal with a lot of nonsense but keeps her cool and is able to assist in figuring out what's going on. I really like that character a lot. And then, of course, you have Robert Forster, as I said before, as Sheriff Hadley. And like I said, it's touching watching Robert Forster play a sheriff, putting in the work and investigating the murders, knowing that death is around the corner for him in more ways than one. And you get the sense that Robert Forster, who, playing behind the character, did the same thing, acting while suffering through brain cancer. Again, may he rest in peace. I want to also just real quick talk about the soundtrack. It's an original score from Ben Lovett, and he does a wonderful, eerie job at lending a classical horror approach to the music that wouldn't feel out of place in a black and white monster movie from old-timey Hollywood. So in conclusion, The Wolf of Snow Hollow is a funny horror genre movie with enough social commentary and good acting that not only will make you think, but make you laugh. And I enjoyed this movie very much. And I suggest you go and buy it now. You can download it for streaming. So that is my review for The Wolf of Snow Hollow. Tell me, what did you guys think about this movie? Did you watch it? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you like Jim Cummings as much as I did? Did you know about Jim Cummings before you watched this movie? Because I know I didn't. And go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this movie, go ahead and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and I will see you guys on the next movie review. You guys have a good day. Bye.